Hey friends, how's it going? You Stihl guys are always saying, Tin Man, why don't you run Stihls? Well, here's one. So this video is for the Stihl folks out there. This is my saw, ported 461. This is the only 461 I've ever run, built, or ported. I don't know anything about these. I bought this one blown up at auction, and I like it. This saw here is probably my favorite Stihl. I own a few Stihls. This one here, 77cc, lightweight, good anti-vibe. I jacked the exhaust roof up fairly high on this saw, but it actually still has all kinds of compression, which is kind of weird. I didn't expect that out of this saw. This thing can be a little bit of a bear to start in winter, but I didn't do a ton of work, a little bit of lower transfer work. I reshaped and profiled the upper transfers on this. I think that's where a lot of the giddy up comes from, and did my usual go fast Tin Man exhaust moves. So I'm just using this to do some cleanup work today. Still working on those snags, trying not to knock this off the truck. 32 full house. I don't know why I didn't put my lightweight bar on. I usually run my 32-inch Stihl lightweight bar on this. This one was really sharp, and the lightweight has a skip. I prefer a full house on this saw. This saw needs a little more chain on it. I find it runs better. It pulls a full house better than a skip tooth. This still has the limited coil. What else? Yeah, base gasket delete. Didn't have any problems with the clearance. There's that little bridge. I'm just gonna move this back. There's that little bridge, that diverter. I guess it diverts air. Some people say when you lower the cylinder on these, it hits. I never had any problem with that. So I've had a lot of questions. I think the other builders that have had problems with that, actually, they're doing machine work. I didn't do any machine work to this saw. So let's see how this thing runs today. I haven't pulled this out in a while. I'm rotating through my saws because it's firewood season. I'll cut for another couple weeks, and then it'll get too hot, and then it'll be pretty much all shop work time. Haven't run this in a while. Has it got fuel in it? Yeah, it's got enough fuel. Sure, it has oil. I'll check anyways. Oh, this thing could use a little oil. I like this saw though. It's pretty angry, this saw. It's got a lot of power. I find Stihls poured up really nice. All the ones I've done have. Whoa. I've read about that, friends, how these Stihl caps don't vent when it's warmer out. That one just burped on me. Oh well, it's what it is. I tend to not open my saws when they're piping hot or by a fire or anything, so. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's run a Stihl in its natural environment. Making sure the flippy caps are on. Okay, friends. Let's see how this thing starts. This saw always fires on the first pull, no matter what. I don't know why. First pull cold, it'll fire. pretty good. So what I did was I cut it this way to leave a hinge, and I could just pull it over and roll it down. Awesome. Let's get this limbed. Friends, this saw's a little lean. This has a limited coil. You guys hear that? When I pulled it out, it took a few seconds to 4-stroke. So just gonna give it a little more high jet. Friends, listen, okay? I'll dog it, or I'll bite it in with the chain, and then I'll pull it up. Listen for the 4-stroke, just for a second. Okay, friends, listen, I'll do it on the stump again. Listen for the 4-stroke. These limited ignitions sound like they're 4-stroking when they're lean. It'll take a couple seconds and it'll sound like it's 4-stroking. It's not, it's cutting the ignition, okay? So I want you guys to hear this. I get this question a lot, and like I said, this channel's about learning. I'll always be that way, and feel free to ask questions in the comments or in emails. Friends, if you see a question that I haven't answered, please answer it. There's a lot of you guys that know more than I do out there, especially in the comments. So, okay, listen, I'm going to fire this up. Listen for the 4-stroke. Okay, as soon as I pull it up. Okay, friends. I like this 461. It needs a full wrap though, it really does. friends, well, it's hot out. Whew, look, I'm leaking. It's nice though. It was minus 60 or minus 100, what, 2 weeks ago it feels like. So my thoughts on this 461. Every time I pull this saw off the shelf, it fires on the first fire. One time my buddy was over and he was curious about this, he wanted to try it. And there was music on in the shop. I missed the first fire, friends. It popped and I didn't hear it. I thought I felt it, but I kept pulling. I flooded this thing instantly, okay? I didn't get it going. That's the only time this saw hasn't started. It's funny. Not much to say negative about this saw. Other than it doesn't have a wrap. I'd like to get a wrap for this thing. Maybe from Stihl, I guess. Other than that, this has been one of the most... it's boringly reliable. This thing never does anything. You just fire it up, give it a little tune based on your temperature that day, and run the snot out of it. It's got a lot of grunt. I'm surprised with how grunty this build is, because I didn't do any machine work, friends. There's no pop-up. This has an OEM piston or an OEM cylinder that I honed. Another honed cylinder, I know. I'm still waiting to ruin one. I honed an OEM cylinder and I threw a Meteor piston. There's no machine work, no pop-up. I did quite a bit of exhaust and upper transfer work. There's not a ton you can do the lower transfers on these, but this one runs really, really, really well. And I'm not patting myself on the back, friends. You guys know me. If this saw was lacking in anything, I would tell you. I'm very particular with my own builds. This one's great. It just... I don't know how these are stock, friends. Post a comment below if you own a stock 461. Are they super strong? Are they easy to start? This one has a stock carb with no limiters and just the Stihl dual port muffler. Actually, this has a highway dual port muffler, so there's no baffle on the inside. Other than that, that's an NWP side cover, West Coast. Got that from Wolf Creek. Ryan sent me this. I like it. It looks factory. It doesn't say Stihl there. But for the price of them, this thing's really nice. So if you're looking for a West Coast cover or 5 of them and you don't want to spend big dough, give Ryan a shout at wolfcreeksawshop.com. He sent this to me to try and I'm happy with it. It looks good. It fits perfect. I don't have my outer dog on right now. I got to modify it a little bit. Not that there's anything wrong with this side cover, but my dogs don't line up because I have old style dogs on a new style saw, which is a thing with these. The hole pattern's a little different. This one sticks out a little further. So, yeah, friends, great saw. I can't say anything bad about this 461. This is one of my favorite saws. I don't typically run new saws. I don't run a whole lot of Stihls, but this feels like an 044 in my hands. It's light, but it's 77 cc's and it has all kinds of power. Pound for pound, friends, this is probably the strongest saw I own. Out of everything that I own, this one probably makes the most power, especially for the cc size. So there you go, Stihl, guys. The Tin Man ran a Stihl. It's not that I don't like Stihls, I don't have that many of them, and I tend to gravitate towards Husqvarna, so it is what it is. Anyhow, friends, I'm going to get some of this firewood split up and start stacking it in the back of the truck. This thing makes quick work of it. 32-inch bar. I hope you guys could see. A lot of people say, why do you run such a long bar and such short wood? Right here. I could pivot this at my hip and be 3 feet away from the danger. I'm not a sprinter, friends. I ain't fast. A guy my size don't move fast. I don't want to get hit by anything. So if I can keep my head on a swivel and just pivot at the hip, I'm going to do that every time. So that's why I run the longer bars. It never occurred to me. And then guys like Buckin said, hey, why don't you run longer bars? And I thought, I don't know. I used to run a 24, friends, on everything. That was my bar length. Now I go 28 and 32. And I have a 36, but I don't really run that much. But anyhow, friends, 461, great saw. If you can find one used or blown up, I'd recommend building it. I believe I did this build on the channel, friends. I can't remember. I think I did. This has OEM bearings, gaskets, seals, a meteor piston, NWP side cover, and a highway muffler. So it's kind of a mix and match. Everything else is OEM on this saw. It's a nice saw. Anyhow, friends, I'm going to keep cutting this week because the weather's going to change again and I'll have to be stuck in the saw shop. So not that I mind that, but I want to get a bunch of firewood hauled out of here before it gets wet in here again, or I won't be able to get here. And walking hundreds of feet with 2 pieces of wood or a wheelbarrow, I don't know. That's no fun. Anyhow, friends, thanks for watching. Take her easy. Later.